real excited about some of the things that we've been hearing this last week. Excited about sharing some of them with you. Okay, is that true? No, that's not treble. There we go. Okay, that's better. All right. We're going to start off, first of all, thank you for being here, and thank you for all the comments and the people that are supporting each other on the Facebook Live and in the chat rooms, that during the course of the week. We really appreciate that. We've got some testimonials I wanted to read to you today. Now these are current. They're coming in all the time now. We're really happy about them. And Christina's got some questions that she wanted to share with us. And I'd like to answer some of those questions too. So let's do that first.
Okay, alrighty. Okay, so these are some of the questions that came across today. I have really bad hips and back and had surgery on both. What are the best exercises for me on the Cellerciser?
Okay, and just so I qualify, every time I have to do this, is I'm not a doctor. I train and teach doctors. I've been doing this for 30 years. We have many different approaches, but if you have a medical condition, I've got to suggest that you consult with your doctor or have your doctor give me a call. But some of the movements that I teach doctors include, especially for the hip, is standing on the Cellerciser and first doing the gentle baby bounce or health bounce because it warms up the tissue. So if we can turn that monitor just a little bit this direction. That's just, I generally do it bare feet or soft, but just gently moving up and down. That's a massage on all the tissue spaces of the body. It's a warm-up. After we've done this for a few moments, then we can spread the feet apart a little bit, bend at the knee slightly. We can either walk in place with a gentle rock, which starts to work all the muscles supporting the hip. That gentle rock side to side. You'll feel it. If you take your fingertips and put them in directly below your actual hip bone area, you will feel those muscles working. As we get a little more aggressive, we can rock the hips a little bit more, and that's going to start to create more stretch, more movement, less inflammation, and increases circulation for healing, and strength in those supporting muscles and ligaments. For the hips also, this gentle twisting motion is very good. Now for the back, I teach specific movements that are designed to open up the vertebral joints, increase circulation to the disc, help the muscles become more flexible. And that's done by simple movements such as taking your elbow, sticking it over your head, leaning slightly to the left so you can feel that stretch. The moment you do, we stop, gently move up and down, allow the movement to massage that tension away, increase circulation, and promote the whole healing process. And we do the same thing on the other side. The side that you feel most of the stretch or the tension is the side you'll probably work on a little bit more. From there, we do graduated movements. So standing here, tilting, we can take our right leg, and as we gently bounce, we can cross in front of the left leg. And as we do that, we can feel it's literally opening up the lower back. Incredible exercise. Don't overdo it. We don't know how much space you have between the vertebral joints in the disc. You don't want to irritate a nerve. So start off gently. As we open up the vertebral joints and the muscles in the back, we'll be able to be more aggressive. There are several different techniques and movements that are all designed to help work on the back. I had another one I wanted to answer. We had a couple people call up. Often shoulder problems they can be caused by the shoulder, but they can also be relating to the scapula, which the shoulder blades in the back. If those shoulder blades are compromised, there's little fluid sacs around them. And if those fluid sacs are compromised and you get pressure in the actual shoulder blade area, it feels like a pinched nerve. It can feel like that right between the shoulder blades. There are movements that I teach that address that, but you want to go very gentle. Taking your hands out, putting them like this, doing the gentle twist where you move those shoulder blades and shoulders back and forth. You're working the upper back. Most people have problems with the lower back, so we work the lower back. But by gently twisting and moving up and down, we start to loosen up the back, and that's a great technique as well. There's more, we'll save some more later, and hopefully we can answer some more questions, but go ahead, Christine.
Okay, So another question that we have is, do you recommend someone with flat feet to jump barefoot or with shoes?
I always recommend, when possible, and usually it is, that we do barefoot. I do socks or soft-soled slippers. We want the foot to be flexible and to move to support your natural alignment, not the alignment of the shoe. Shoes are more restrictive. Our feet, we end up, and I think we talked about this before, but we end up with foot problems very often because we go out to do something strenuous. And the foot has to be more supportive and flexible when it isn't. And then we end up tearing or get plantar fasciitis or other foot issues. So we want to make sure that we're keeping the foot flexible. And these different movements that we teach and the movements on the Cellerciser, the foot has the ability, when it doesn't have restriction, to start to move. Now we may notice little kinks come and go in the foot as bones start to move, ligaments start to move. And as it does that, it's literally adapting to you more, not just the shoe. And that creates healthier feet. People that are flat-footed, standing on the Cellerciser, lifting the heels up and down, starts to build up and strengthen the arch. But again, start off gently.
Perfect. All right. I would like to know about Cellercising with lymphedema. My issue is in my leg, but I know others that have it in their arms. Any special moves that you would recommend?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, lymphedema, swelling varicose veins, poor circulation in the lower extremities is very, very common because it's usually the weakest area of circulation in the body. It's the furthest area from the heart. So we want to create a pumping action that helps move that fluid through the one-way valves back up toward the heart. And the calf muscle is really important. It's often been called the second heart. When the calf muscle gets soft and flabby, as we walk, we have less pressure from the calf muscle helping us to move that circulation up. And so over time, we can get more swelling. There's other issues that can cause that. But with respect to the Cellerciser, movement up and down helps assist the heart in moving fluid through the one-way valves back up toward the heart. As we lift the heels up and down, we work the calf muscle, and the calf muscle flexing helps to increase more pressure in the lower extremities that force and move that fluid back up toward the heart again. So it's helped people with edema, swelling, varicose veins, poor circulation. People that are diabetic, it's really, really important, and it's been very, very helpful. And we've got great customer reviews from people with those issues as well.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about starting out brand new. First of the year, we all get a little excited. So maybe give us a little encouragement and advice on those of us that might push it a little too hard.
I'm glad you brought that up. You know, we all want to get to where we want to get as quickly as we can, and often we get frustrated because it's not happening as fast as we want. One of the things we need to do in our society today is learn how to enjoy the journey. Smell the roses along the way. Be grateful every day that we're able to work toward the goal and objective. It's not the realization or the end result that is going to help us become the person we need to be in the process. It's the process of getting there that helps us develop the character we need. So enjoy it. Literally enjoy it. Work hard, play hard, and be good to yourself. Appreciate where you are right now. Where you are right now is the person that is going to help you move to where you want to become. And again, I've said this several times, but we need to visualize the person we want to be, not just the person we are, so that the desire and the responses to outside stimulus are held within the framework of what we want to accomplish. And I've said that, and you've heard me say it, in order to have what we have not, we must first become what we are not. As we become what we are not, that's the process. Then what we have not becomes a natural manifestation of the person we've now become. But in order to become what we are not, we must first be able to see ourselves, each other, that which is around us, and that which is within us. Not just as we are today, but as we can become. So whatever the goal or objective is, exercise a particle of faith and visualize the end result. Hold on to that so it grows into a desire and nurture the desire. Motivation is always changing. What motivates you today may not motivate you tomorrow. That's why most people end up breaking their goals and objectives, and they get caught up in the day-to-day activities and then become reactive instead of proactive. So one of the things we want to do is focus on the goal of the objective, and every week take the steps toward achieving it. Now, if you don't take the steps or something doesn't work out, that's okay. Take a look and figure out what were the obstacles that were in the way of helping you to achieve what was important to you. Can you develop a strategy for overcoming those obstacles? For me, when I first started off with Cellercise and I needed to do something, I was a young father, 2 children, a third on the way, and not doing well with regards to my health. And sirens. with regards to my health. And I needed to do this, but I get caught up in our day-to-day activities too. So I put the Cellerciser between the living room and our bedroom. I couldn't go from one room to the other without either running into the Cellerciser or stepping over it. And I learned, in some respects, the hard way. At nighttime, if you forget it's there, it hurts. It leaves little marks on the shins. I've had several of them. But I continued to do it, and I got into a pattern. And now I don't want to wake up any other way. I get on the Cellerciser, I do my 10-minute routine, and I know my body parts and functions are working more efficiently, and I'm going to enjoy a better quality of life. So in that process, enjoy the journey. And if you get discouraged, give me a call. And I've had a chance to work with several of you, and I'm sure I'll have an opportunity to work with several more. But our objective is to help you get results, not just to sell you the Cellerciser. It's great, best unit on the market, and I can tell you all the reasons why again. But the ultimate objective is to help you get the results you want. So.
Okay, so last week you told us that you would show us some stretching techniques. Let's take a look at those. All right,
that's kind of a little bit about what I was doing with the back. Those were some stretching routines. Yeah, good. I'm going to show you another one, but I don't want you to start off with this. This one here, where you're gently doing the twist, is great for the shoulder blades, the shoulders, the waist, all around here. It's wonderful. This other one is a lot more aggressive, and if you don't have enough space between the nerves and the tissue, you don't want to irritate, because it can set you back a few days. Fortunately, the Cellerciser is very forgiving though. And that's to take your arm, you stick it out in front of you like this, take this arm, wrap it underneath this, and put your hand kind of on your shoulder here. And what you're going to do is you're going to pull this direction, take the left hand and put it on the other shoulder. And as you gently move up and down, you're going to feel that if there's any tension there, you're going to feel the pulsating movement gently stretch the cells or increase flexibility in the actual cell tissue. And so you can hold a little bit further and hold it for a few moments. And then when you're done, you reverse it. Just take and put your arm underneath this one and do the same thing. You're giving yourself, I call it the bear hug. This is the bear hug move. And as you're giving yourself a bear hug, you're also stretching those shoulders and the scapula area as well. So this one here is one that I've been doing to help loosen those muscles. You'll feel it. I mean, there's no question you'll feel it. Other movements would be the opposite, which is to take, and I think we talked about this on the first session, is to take the elbows and move them toward the back. And then you do the same thing. Give yourself a bear hug. Just hold each position, maybe do the count of 10. And then back 10. And then reverse and do 10 bounces. And then go back again. There's these movements that are excellent for the shoulder, the whole back. And again, we often see a dog or a cat on their back, moving all the way around, squirming and doing those movements to keep the back flexible. Well, this one here helps to keep it flexible and strong. It may look a little funny, but it's very effective.
Okay, so let's look at some of these customer reviews that we've gotten. I'm going to pass these up to you.
Okay, good. You know, these are exciting, and thank you for sharing, because each one of you is a light on a hill. You're there to help motivate, inspire other people that this is real. Cellercise is real. There's lots of gimmicks that come and go. We've been doing Cellercise for 30 years now. It wouldn't still be working. I wouldn't still be in business if it didn't work. It does work. And we've got people that are, I think I shared last week, I may have shared about the recent phone call I had from a lady who began in her 70s. And she's in her 90s now. She called to just say thank you. She's enjoying the quality of life that she never expected, and she's watching all of her friends and her peers fall apart. They're on drugs and medications, and she's not. And she says she's just feeling good. I know I've got an uncle who's 87, Cellercises all the time, and he's out playing tennis and having a great time too, so it's kind of my motivation. But I wanted to share a few of these with you, and then we can answer questions. But this one is from Sarah. She says, "My second Cellerciser just arrived. This one is going home with my son and his wife. I've had mine for a few years and forgot how completely odorless these are when new. I'm amazed that there is zero detectable odor of any kind from the new unit, and this is coming from someone who has super sensitive odor detection." Well done, David Hall. You truly have put so much thought and attention to every little detail, and it shows. Thank you. And we don't want off-gassing. The worst thing to be doing is exercising and running hard, breathing hard, and breathing in fumes or particulates that are coming off of a typical type of rebounder. We want to experience better health. We don't want to compromise our health, and that's important. All right, this one here. This is great. This is Linda, and maybe she may be watching. We had a discussion. It says, Linda's great. She says, "Thank you, David, for your reply." Okay, she wrote originally, says, "I'm a 70-year-old woman, just recently found out that I have spinal stenosis at L4 and L5. I've been moderately rebounding for 6 months and want to know if rebounding will help to make the problem worse. I'm positive that rebounding didn't create the problem because I've injured my tailbone by falling on it twice. Once at 19 and then sometime in my early 60s. I love rebounding and don't want to stop. Look forward to hearing your advice. Also would like to tell you that I tell all my facial clients to watch your videos on YouTube." All right, so I wrote to Lynn. I said, basically I sent her a letter. A letter was written by a chiropractor who I've worked with for many, many years. And it was talking about how the movement up and down on the Cellerciser moves fluid through the spinal column, helping to increase that circulation. And then the different movements that we can do to help imbibe the disc. It's a good letter, and it's on our website under our doctor professional section under our customer reviews. But she writes,
Just a week later.
Yeah, says, "The chiropractor that I saw today advised me to stay off the rebounder until he thought it was safe for me to continue. After reading the article, I don't want to stop, but will shorten my routine and stay on the safe side. Again, thank you so much for getting back to me. If you have any suggestions, please feel free to share." So a little time went by, and she wrote again. She says, "Hello, David. It took me a couple of days to get back on the rebounder after reading the article that you sent. After listening to my doctor, family, and friends tell me not to get on it because it was probably what caused the problem in the first place, I decided not to listen to them and believe in trusting you and the article." Now again, guys, I'm not trying to supersede a doctor at all. I work with doctors, but often doctors don't understand. They think that this is a typical rebounder. A Cellerciser is not a typical rebounder, and the approaches are very different. But she goes on, "After being in pain that was now flowing down my legs for the past 2 weeks, I decided to get on and just do a 5-minute bounce. Within 30 seconds, I was feeling amazing relief. The second day I got up and did another 5 minutes, which led to 10 because I love being on it. I was amazed that at the end of my day, my back was pain-free and my legs felt stronger. I want to thank you again for getting back to me and sending the article. I was truly at a loss for what to do. Thanks to you, I have another great story for telling people why they need to be rebounding for their lives. It's the best. So these are recent articles. I mean, they just came in. This was just last week.
This was just 2 days ago.
2 days ago. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing it. These things they help to promote health for other people. And I think I shared this one maybe last week. I'm not sure. I have a Cellerciser, Bellicon, and Jump Sport rebounder. For the last year, I've been using only the Bellicon and the Jump Sport. Recently, I got back on the Cellerciser, and my body said, "What took you so long?" I immediately realized what I've been missing. Thanks, Sue. And I'm not here to disparage any other mini trampoline. Jumping has great benefits. There are certain things that you should not do on certain types of units to help avoid pronation, ankle problems, knee problems, etc. In fact, okay. Thank you for your patience. I'm going to read this one. It's a little lengthy, but I think it answers a lot of questions and concerns that other people might have, especially when you share with them about Cellercise. So I want to share some of my initial thoughts that I've recently acquired regarding a new bifold Cellerciser to replace my 44-inch Bellicon rebounder. Let me stage by describing myself to provide some context to what you're about to read. I'm a 69-year-old, physically active male who unfortunately trashed his knees fairly early in life. And that's one of our specialties, rebuilding and structuring the strength of the supporting muscles and ligaments around the knee. As a result, I had a total of 6 knee surgeries, which include 2 partial replacements and a subsequent reconstruction of a total knee replacement. The hospital refers to this as a joint journey, worst trip that you could ever go on, exclamation point. I had purchased the Bellicon rebounder in the hopes that it would be helpful in rehabbing my knees, since it's advertised as being the best bounce of all rebounders. The Bellicon is presented as the Mercedes-Benz rebounders, Swiss design and German construction. All that prestige comes at a hefty price of $879 plus $39 shipping, a little pricey for most people. Good thing I found a gently used one. After spending some time in storage, I recently began to use the Bellicon daily, only to find that instead of feeling better and stronger, I was feeling worse. I want to address that in a moment because it depends on what you're doing on it. Jumping is fine, but for exercise purposes, you don't want to be jumping high and having your feet pronate or your knees pronate, because over time, that can cause other issues. He says I was feeling worse. My knees would ache for days afterwards, and I was getting to get very discouraged, as I could no longer enjoy any type of impact exercise such as running or racquetball, etc. My hope of enjoying the Bellicon came to a screeching halt. Fortunately, I came across this Cellerciser website, read all the reviews, had a wonderful phone conversation with David Hall, and a new adventure in health has begun. David explained to me that due to the large 40-foot-inch mat of the Bellicon and the deep bounce that it produces, I was actually causing my feet to pronate with each bounce, putting undue lateral stress on my already stressed out knees. I took his advice and ordered a bifold Cellerciser with support bar, very handy for those who require just a little bit more stability, and have been using it daily for the last week and a half. We encourage everybody to feel free to try the Cellerciser for 30 days. If you have a different unit and you're not sure and you'd like to try the Cellerciser. Cellerciser is going to have more resistance, but it's a resistance that causes the valves to open and shut, and the cells and the muscles and the bones, the density gets stronger. It's not about the height. You don't need to jump high on a Cellerciser. When you jump high, all you're doing is floating. If you want to float, get a trampoline. A big one, because then you can float and do tricks. On a Cellerciser, the majority of the work is done within the first 2 to 3 inches of the mat. That's when the valves are opening and shutting. That's where the muscles are expanding and contracting. That's where most of the benefit is occurring. Your cells and your muscles are flexing many more times per minute by doing it in just that 2 to 3 inches than it would be if you were jumping high. And you can jump high on a Cellerciser too if you want. But the purpose of it is to do movements and leverage those movements by altering the angle of your body in different positions, so you can focus on the stomach, or the hips, or the waist, or the back, or the buttocks. I'm happy to report that Dave's advice was spot on. My feet are not pronating like they did on the Bellicon, and my knees are feeling stronger day by day. A deep or high bounce is not necessary, as the 3-stage patented spring design exclusive to the Cellerciser provides just the right resistance to produce a healthy, not jarring bounce. And that's one of the reasons we adapted the tri-adaptable spring design. So as you rub your fingers over the spring, you'll feel a ridge before it tapers, and then another ridge before it tapers again. Those ridges are there to help allow the spring to stretch more, focus the stretch toward the center of the spring. And then if you need more spring, or you're jumping higher, then it graduates to the next ridge and the next tier, and so forth, so that you have the support you have, or you need, based upon how high you're jumping or how much you weigh. Just be careful to start conservatively and allow your joints and ligaments a chance to adjust to the new regimen of Cellercising. Here's the bottom line. Especially to those of you who are older and experiencing knee pain and soreness, or who have undergone multiple surgeries like me, do yourself a huge favor. Forget all the other models of rebounders out there, regardless of price, and get yourself a genuine Cellerciser. Start with 10 minutes a day. Have fun doing all the variety of moves that are shown on the DVD that's included. You'll never regret the purchase. I'm going on, by the way, these are my honest comments. I've not been paid to submit this initial review. My hope is that my experience will help you make a proactive choice and get back into a state of health and vitality. And I will update you on my fitness journey. Dave Hall, Cellerciser is the best investment you can make in your health, and the last piece of exercise equipment you will ever need. I feel that way. I really do. But that being said, if you're bouncing and you're enjoying another unit, enjoy it. If you have issues with it and you're concerned about it, let me know, and I'm happy to help. And anything else? We're good.
I think we're good.
We're good. Okay. Christine, tell us, how has it been for you this week?
It's been a good week. I'm not plateaued, but I haven't lost a ton more weight, which is okay. But like I said, my clothes are starting to fit better, which is wonderful. And just today I had somebody say, "You look really good." And I just wonder if it's because I tend to have a little more spring in my step and I feel a lot healthier, more energy. And right now I'm in the thick of stress mode, and so this has been a blessing to get through some of those stressful times being in classes and that.
You do it. You got a glow about you.
And I really have enjoyed it, and so it's been exciting. I kind of get excited and tell a lot of people about it, and have actually had a few people look into it just because they're like, "Wow, we've seen a change and a difference. We want to see what that's all about." So that's been exciting for me.
Good. Do we have any questions that we can answer that have come in? Not really?
Not really.
Okay. Anything else that you want to add?
No, do you want me to just stay on the exercise routine that I was doing last week, or do we want to add anything else to
Okay,
it?
you're doing the breathing to
Right.
get oxygen into them. And let me show you some of these movements for those who haven't seen them. So, number one, appreciate where you are right now. That's critical first. We've got goals and objectives for physical fitness, and that's what we want to achieve. Losing weight, we want to increase metabolic processes, and oxygen, increased oxygen, the bloodstream can do that as well. So this movement, which we start off very gently, is designed to open up the bronchial tubes in the lungs, get oxygen to the other 1/3 of the lung. Most people don't get enough oxygen to. And it's done by standing on the mat, lifting the heels up and down, and just breathing in and out. You step up, breathe in, bend at the knee, bring the hands back down the front of your face, and breathe out through your mouth. All of us through your mouth. It goes like this. When you're done, you can hear the difference in your voice. Can you hear that? Yeah. It opens up the larynx to those people who like to sing, those people who are radio announcers, or those people just want to have better voice quality. That movement up and down increases diaphragmatic breathing and opens up the larynx. And it's just amazing. The people I've been able to work with who like to sing and what that's done. It was a technique I designed many years ago, but it's very effective. Now that increase of oxygen, once it's in your bloodstream, will help to increase metabolic processes. Cells need oxygen to burn calories and utilize nutrients. And so from there,
I did the twist.
you're doing the twist. Okay, this gentle twist. We start off with the baby bounce, always the baby bounce. This is the beginning. This lifting the heels up and down helps to increase circulation from the lower extremities up to the heart. But it is the wake-up call. Your thyroid, your adrenals, your endocrine system, they're gently expanding and contracting because of the weightlessness. You're weightless over 100 times a minute, and then you have an increase of weight. And it's all very gentle. And so after doing this one here for a few moments, then you do the breathing. She's doing the twisting one. This one's very, very, that's the second most important activity I teach. The most is just the baby bounce or health bounce. Second, I teach is loosening up the lower back, improving digestion, elimination processes. This one here takes the little colon and the intestines, puts them through a little washing machine effect, while it's massaging the liver, kidney, spleen, gallbladder, pancreas, the adrenals. All these internal organs are being massaged. Drink lots of water when you begin, so you can help flush out any heavy metals, toxins, and poisons that are released through those movements. And then we've got you doing after that. Okay.
So we're doing the walk still, but you actually had me start the run with the high, kind of a jog in between.
Take my shoes off for this one. We can tilt it down just a little bit so you can see the feet, maybe. But okay, this one, great. All right. The Jamba walk is where most people are going to begin. And you want to start with the Jamba walk, not the Jamba run. We want to open up capillaries. We want to increase circulation. We want to put too much stress on the circulatory system initially. The Jamba run is extremely intense for those people that have gotten to a certain level where now you can do it. But to begin with, we want to build up the supporting muscles and ligaments around the knees. This is the Jamba walk. You're just pushing down into the mat. You're flat-footed. Having the balance bar helps you keep your back straight. You don't want to lean forward. It makes it easier because it takes the weight off the thighs. The thighs are the biggest muscles of the body. They have the greatest demand for fuel, so we're going to use those. And the Jamba run is done just simply like this. It's very intense. And then when you're done doing your first set, you can stand there lifting the heels up and down or jog in place while you're catching your breath. And then you can get ready to do it again. Now, Christine is at the point now where she's doing the Jamba run. And when you start off doing it, if you do 20 seconds, that's great. You can create variety. You can do different movements. And we teach a lot of those movements on our website. If you go to cellercise.com/exercise, you'll see many of the different movements. We have the Mr. Rebounder app. I wanted to talk a little bit about that. We're excited about it. It's going to have over 30 different pre-made routines for beginning, intermediate, advanced, seniors. There'll actually be an area you can create your own routine. You can adapt one of the routines that are pre-made. You can change it. You can work with a physical trainer or therapist to develop routines specific for your goals and objectives. So we filed a patent on it. We got our patent, and now we're trying to extend our patents so we protect it more than anything else. But what will happen, or what has happened, we got a little delay. We expect to have it released this month. There are some files with some of the movements for the Android that tripped us up a little bit, and so we're reworking those right now. The Apple is ready, and so I was just talking to Christine tonight, and within the next few days we'll probably just go ahead and release the Apple, whether the Android version is ready or not. And then the Android version will come right on the heels. So we're that close. Everything seems to be working beautifully. We're excited about it. So we'll be releasing that in the next few days, we hope, and we'll keep you posted. But thank you. Keep the questions coming in. Feel free to call anytime. People that have knee problems, hip problems, back problems, digestion, elimination, circulation problems, stress disorders, sleep disorders. Have them take a look at this Cellercise and give it a try. There's nothing like it. You don't favor one side of the body over the other. Like with typical exercise, nothing, I'm not trying to take away from exercise, it's great. But typical exercise is limited to certain muscle groups or body parts, and it takes a long time to get to all of them. If I took, and many of you have heard me say this, if I took 5, 10, 15% of my body weight and applied it just to this muscle, 100 times a minute for 10 solid minutes, great exercise for that muscle. Now you got to do all the other body parts. Well, that's lifting weight away from gravity. Cellercise increases the weight of gravity. So if I wanted to increase the weight on this muscle by 10, 15% more, instead of lifting weight away from gravity, I could simply bounce up and down, and that increase of weight is on every single cell membrane over 100 times a minute. I don't lift weights. I'm not a bodybuilder. I do my routine in the mornings, and everything seems to be working great. I'm 62 still, 62 years of age, and I'm running around, guys like I'm in my 20s or 30s, hopping fences, and my kids and their kids' friends look at them and say, "How old are you, Dad?" And that, to me, I like that, because we don't have to go through the symptoms of the aging process the way we buy into. Cells are always replacing themselves. We can strengthen and improve the efficiency of our cells at any age. As we strengthen and improve the efficiency of our cells, we do the same thing with body parts and functions. And that's one of the advantages of Cellercise. So keep the questions coming in. Let me know what I can do to help. If you have a medical condition and you'd like your doctor to give me a call, I'd be happy to talk to your doctor about some of the different approaches that we can take on the Cellerciser as well. Again, I've been doing this for 30 years, and we've got lots of different approaches for many, many different conditions and wonderful stories. And again, feel free to go to our customer review section on our Cellercise website and take a look at what people are saying. And thank you again for participating, for being a part of it. Sorry if I've been a little long-winded. Got a lot I want to do and a lot I want to share, but I really do appreciate your help and your support and your involvement. So thank you. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.